Good afternoon, and welcome back to my craft room. This is Marjorie Snyder, and I hope everyone had a wonderful festive season. I took a couple weeks off and spent time with my family, and now here in Ontario we're back in lockdown, so I'm back in my craft room. Oh, I spent a great deal of time cleaning and organizing my craft room. That was interesting. So we're going to continue with, in this sit, chat, and craft, another envelope, recycled envelope piece of ephemera. So this is a standalone. It's quite chunky, so I think it would be a standalone. Something that you could make from your crafts and send to someone, or you could put it in a journal. This is Toux paper. This is a cutout from a fussy cut piece of music. And again, this is Toux collage paper. And this was made from an envelope that came in during the Christmas holidays. Toux paper, some lace, bits of lace, and this flips up and it flips open. So what you have is you have two journaling cards. Again, most of this is Toux paper, some lace down the side, some book page, then writing on the back. This is fussy cut, and this is Toux paper here. And again, this is the pocket is Toux paper with a fussy cut and some lace. So lots of writing space here where you could write a letter to someone, include some wonderful thoughts or leave these for them. And then it also has a card in the front. Again, this is Toux craft table paper and a place to write on the back, and another one on the back. And this is Toux craft table paper, and this I got in a piece of Happy Mail, so I don't know whose this is. It's all one piece of paper. It looks like a stamp though. And then these are Tracy Fox's tea cards, and I think that's one of Tracy Fox's butterflies. So what we'll get on to then is making our envelope. I don't know what I would call it. Probably hidden writing space. You can come up with a name for it for me if you want. So to make this project, you're going to take two envelopes and you're going to cut them on three sides so that they open out large. Then you're going to fold down the front one of the envelopes on the line, and that's making this here shape. And then I folded mine right after this line here. And the size will actually depend on your envelope. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get your second envelope, and it's going to make the pockets on the, it's going to make these two pockets here. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to glue these down. Now, someone who is far smarter than me is going to figure out how to use that envelope, but as you all know, I hate using those envelopes. Well, I hope everybody had a really nice holiday. We definitely did. It was quiet, but sometimes those are the best. I am blessed that I was able to see all of my grandchildren and most of my children. I have one son that lives out in Victoria, and of course we didn't see him, but we Skyped with him, which was nice. Was very nice. So with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce that top pocket as I am wont to do by folding down an edge, just to make sure that it holds together when people are moving things in and out of it. And I have gotten a number of new subscribers since Christmas, and thank you very much. I think that is more to do with my slow stitching than it is with my paper crafting, but hey ho, that's still nice. And when I hit 200 subscribers, I will be sending out my package of, here it is here, of all of the things that I've made. I'll do a draw at 200, and the subscriber will get one of each of the things that I've made in this envelope giveaway, including one that I'm making today. All right, so that's down. I just want to glue that there. And then lining that up with the top, we make our bottom fold, our bottom pocket, by folding up from the bottom the other envelope. And again, what we're going to do, I'm going to do, you can do what you want. I'm going to fold this down ever so slightly to ensure that I get a nice strong edge, and I'm going to glue this down. It gets sewn all the way around, so nothing is going to be coming apart. Well, I sew them all around. If you don't, then you're going to want to really make sure you glue those well. So there is that. And that will go on there as such. And we have the base for our project. So again, that's 2 envelopes. This is the first and this is the second. So on the first envelope, what I am going to do is I'm going to cover this side with lined paper, because this is going to be your writing edge. So I glue this down, and so I will get that done right now. So this is the next day. I had some video issues. So my paper is glued on, and what I've done is I folded it here, and then I folded it again, making sure I'm creasing where the glue is, and I folded it in half. And then you take your second envelope, which you cut open. I like to reinforce the top and the bottom. And you line up that envelope. So what's key here is that this top piece here, these 2 pieces line up, and I use 2 clips to make sure that is the way it's supposed to be. And then I fold the bottom up, lift that tab up, and as you can see, there is some pieces here that need to be cut off. So you trim that up. And you got it this way, and you open it up, and this is a little off center. So if I'd folded better straighter here, that would be better there, but I'm not going to worry about it. We can do things with our eyes to make that happen. So then the next thing is to do is to decorate. So I'm just going to put my clips off over here. And in the past 3 days, I've crested 200 subscribers. So I owe you guys a giveaway, which I will do. So what I'm going to do is lay down music paper as a background, and it is going to fold over. It's not going to be seen very much, so that's fine, although I do need it to come down to here. So why don't we glue that in first? So what you will do is, for the giveaway, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you will leave me a comment, a positive comment. I will delete all negative comments, but Tell me how you use envelopes, and if there's something here that I've missed, or what piece of ephemera you really like to use, or junk mail that you really like to use when it comes in the mail. So leave me a comment, because I will use the comment tracker to find you. So I'm lining up this line here. I'm going to push it down. I'm going to use my roller. Make sure it's down good and hard. And then I'm going to trim the sides. And then I'm going to refold this way, and this way, and this way, and this way. And now I'm going to add my two pieces. Yeah, now you see how it covers it all up? But that is okay, because if it didn't, and I could actually, why don't I do that? Just drop it down a bit and use my tear ruler. See the music paper behind it, which I think looks kind of neat. So what I need to do is get my ink out. Ink this up. So as I don't know if I said it in one of the ones that got deleted, but I'm participating in some slow stitching collabs. It's what I do in the winter time, and I think that's what's sort of popped up my subscribership, which is nice. But the giveaway is going to be a set of these ephemera that we've made together. So you will need to be a subscriber, and you'll need to leave a comment telling me how if you use envelopes differently, how you do that, and if there's some other piece of junk mail that you really would like to see me use. So that's that one, and then I've got this one here, and we're going to do the same thing. So I want the moth to be the thing that shows up, so then I'm going to come in this way and clear that. Oops, might have been a bit too much. No, I don't think so. Bring back my wax paper, and then I will figure out how to use that tracker, comment tracker, and we'll do the draw. So this is January 6th. So we will do the draw. I'll have to get my calendar out, but I'll put it on there in a week. So we'll do it on this is Wednesday, so we'll draw on next Thursday. And then I will figure out how to notify you. And I will send it wherever you are in the world. So as you can see, this one is longer than this one, but it can be fixed by putting something there to distract the eye. So that looks nice. Just quickly do this. And because we put the music on sideways, it just really acts as a background. It doesn't take away from anything else. So now we're going to flip that up, and now we have these two spaces to do. And I have, and this is Took's craft table paper. This is her calligraphy collage. And I'm going to decide which I want. I think I like that. And so I'll rip this off. Okay. Now this white will get, I will ink the edges, and that will disappear with that. And then the same with this side. I want as much of this flower as I can get. So I think I'm going to take off two sides of this one. And then just a smidge of this one. And see how this wording here with it's upside down, but when you put that on, it just disappears. All right, so now we have those two pieces covered. Now when we put this, we don't need to do this side because it will be covered by the back. So then the next piece that I do, you can do whichever one you want, but I do this one here then. And this is where you can even out your paper. So using this, I'm going to go a little above it. So this was the higher side. Just to keep that where I want it to be, I'm going to glue this edge. Like that. That should compensate for my very bad folding in the beginning. Let's put this where it's supposed to be. Get my head out of screen. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. I like it. I like this paper. Need to add some acetone to this. I haven't got it too far over this side, I think. Hopefully I can lift that up. I'm rushing because I don't want the video to be miles long. So, and in rushing I probably... That's better. Get out my roller. Roll it down. Fold up the bottom piece. Lay some glue down on that. And fold it in half. I like how all her paper works with itself. I'm not going to cut anything more off until I get it sewn down, because I want to make sure I've got edges that I can work with. So now we take that out and we go to the front. And we get two pieces of paper here. And so this is the front. So I'd like this rose on the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this glue, a glue stick, to get it to start, and then I'll cut it. Now this one can fold over the top to add strength here. And this side needs to be cut. There's that piece. And now the second piece, I want this blue more than anything else. And this one I am going to tear it again, because I don't, well, where did I put my tear ruler? I had it in there, it is. You know, I start out being so, this is the way it's going to be, I'm going to be nice and organized, and of course it never ends up that way. Alright, so that one can go up a bit, like that, and I'm going to edge this side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use my glue stick. All right, so let's take a look at this all put together. Oh, that looks nice. Except, you know what I did? I like this, but these letters are on upside down, so I'm going to have to add something there. That's okay. That's funny. It's what I wanted, so that's what I got. And on this side, they're the right side up. All right. So now the next thing that we do, or we need to do before we sew, which is the next big thing that I'm going to walk away and do, is I get out my hole punch and I pull this section out and I fold them together and I take my punch and I put, see if I can do two at the same time here. I really like these Stampin' Up. So now there is a divot on both sides. And you see the sheet music comes through so that you don't see the... All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew first off, I'm going to sew right across here. Then I'm going to sew starting at this corner. I'm going to go down, up, down, across, and all the way back up. And then I'm going to come down the middle here. Now, if you wanted to, you wouldn't have to come down the middle because you could tuck this in here and fold it. But I kind of liked it sitting on top. All right, so I will be back in a minute. So now I'm back from sewing, and as you can see, we've sewed along the top, along the sides, through here, down the middle. Now the middle makes two pockets, and what I liked about it was that it also then makes sure that these are two separate pockets as well. And then I sewed around. Now what I did do is I did sew across the top here before I sewed the sides down. So now what I'm going to do is ink it. Making sure to get all of the folds. this is when you check for pieces of paper that have come up. And you can re-glue them down. And you have the essence of your piece of ephemera done. So now for a closure. Now you could, I guess, make this so that it sat and then glue this side down so you didn't have a pocket here if you wanted to, or you could do it this way. But I wanted it to be a standalone piece of ephemera, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take it and I am going to punch. So by punching the holes in it, you do make the tags that can go in here shorter, or narrower, I mean. So you need to decide whether that's something you want to do, because you could just tie ribbon around it. But as you can see with this one, I kind of liked having the tying it shut. But it will make this space shorter, so there'll be less space in there for you. I like to try and punch them both at the same time so that I can, if I can, normally I can. There we go. I had to open it. So I look and see where my pockets are, and I just go above the pocket, go in a fair bit, and punch. And now I have my two grommets that I will put in here. If I can do them right, I often can't. I think that's the right way. Sort of. Kind of. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to have to hit that with a nail, with a hammer, I mean, so that it doesn't, or I might put a piece of paper over top of it. Somebody told me one time to do these upside down, so maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Oh, you need wrist strength for this. No, they both split the same way. They might have been too deep. So what I will do is I will take a hammer and I will hammer them down, and I think that, well, normally that's enough to make them so they aren't rough anymore. And failing that, I will take my ribbon and I will glue it down there. So the next thing we do need is the ribbon, which I was sure I still had here. Well, just 1 minute while I look for the ribbon. Okay, I don't know what I did with that ribbon, but I've got this ribbon here, so I'll add some blue butterflies, which are always nice, or blue flowers, which will tie it in. So I'm going to put that through, and I'm going to go under, over, and then over, under. And make a knot, and then I think what I will do is I will glue that knot over top of that hole so that I take away the roughness of it. So I want it to be able to go around like this and tie into a bow. So I'll cut that there. And we'll do the same on this side. Thread it through. Go over, under, under, over. I hope that's what I'm doing. And again, I will just lay that down there when it's done. So then what you do is you dip. And now you just have to put your tags in it. So let's decorate this up quickly and then we'll be done. I'm actually going to look and see if I've got something I can place over top of those. Yeah, like that. Do I have a second one? So I'm just looking through this tin of cut-offs to see what I have. And in the garbage, this came into the thrift store. Wait a minute, this might be pretty. These were banners that came into the thrift store and they've all got, yes, that's what I'm going to do. These are just glued on, so I think somebody's wedding or something, they glued all of this lace, and I thought for sure I'll be able to do something with that. Since they're just glued on, I can just pull them apart. So there we go. Got two little flowers to go on there. I'm actually going to leave you and I'm going to hit this to make them flatter. So I'm glad I took the time to go downstairs and hammer these, because now they're flat and they don't need anything. So I'm just going to leave them the way they are. I'm not going to add these. That would have been added more bulk. But what I might do is, no, I'm just going to cut those short and leave them just like that. And that way whoever gets it can do what they want. Pull it off, put something else there, put dangles on it. So let's do some decorating. I'm going to close this up just quickly so I can. So what I've done is I've pulled out some blue butterflies. These aren't blue, but these are freebies from Artemaeus. Oh, I just love them. I use them all the time. And then these are, I believe these are Calico Collage, and this is Took's Craft Table, and I could get them wrong, and I'm just, those are the ones that I usually use, and these were a gift from someone. So, a pile of butterflies, my journal, and let's start by maybe looking at some lace. No, I don't want any. The pink looks nice there. Oh, I like that. All right, I'm going to tuck all that underneath. So this is avocado dyed. So I'm going to lay down some glue. In the general area that I want it. Now I'll add the actual cheesecloth. I'll cut it off where I don't want it. And it'll fray. Put that piece back. In fact, I'll just fray it up a bit here. So now that it's down there, I know where I need to add more glue. And with this glue, you hold it until it goes warm, and then you know that it's done. All right, so there's that done. Glue it on this, and then I had thought that this would be the one that I use. Yeah, it's pinker. All right, so I'm just going to take this and distress the edges. I thought I was done distressing. Come on. That really does need some acetate added to it. There we go. And just hold that down for a minute. And then if it needs more glue, if it's paper on paper, I can use this. And it probably should have a label of some kind. These are Toux labels. And let's go into Tracy Fox and see what she has. No, I think I like that one. Oh, well, this one has a blue edge. I think I'm going to go with that one. Put those away. Cut this out. I've got some new butterfly collage paper that I'm excited to work with at some point in the near future. Not quite sure what I'll make. Maybe I'll do this set as ephemera and then sell it on Liz, the paper crafter's website. The last package of ephemera I made went quite quickly. Alright, so I think that's the front done. Quickly go into the middle. We'll leave that. Those look kind of nice. I don't know that that needs anything. I'll put those there. And add a little bit of this lace to each one. Anybody recognizes these and can tell me where I can go buy them, I really like using them. Yeah, that's enough. Actually, I'm going to see if the other bottle will empty for me. I can see why crafters who make, like, this is their income versus a hobby. And for me, it's just a hobby. If I can recoup some of my costs, that's fine. However, how they would get carpal tunnel on their hands very easily. Because you're always pressing down. So those two, that's the front, that's the inside. That flips up, and on the back, I think I'm going to replicate the front. Or do we want a big butterfly? No, I think we want to replicate the front. I want to replicate the front. I'm not really giving you much of an option, am I? I don't like it. All right, so I think this lace is what I'm going to use, and it came out of the banner. So I'm just going to wrinkle up the edges, pull it all out of proportion there, lay it down. And I can hear some of you screaming, don't cut it off the end, that'll look lovely. I know that some of you really like lace hanging out the bottom. I have no idea why. That just drives me, but that straight line drives me bonkers. My poor family, when they go to clean up my craft room at the end of my tenure here on Earth, I can just hear them saying, why did Grandma keep that? What was she going to use this scrap of fabric for? I can just hear it. Oops, I want that going up. There we go. Press that down. Trim that off. Okay, so that's the butterfly. And I'll put this one on. Yeah, I think that's enough. And then we will make, I will make the tags that go in them and post this video. Thank you very much, and we will talk to you next time.